They say teaching is a foundation for all jobs, which I completely stand by. Many jobs require schooling to be employed by that specific company. For example, a person in the engineering profession had to have been taught by someone, a teacher, in order to get that job. A person in the food industry had to have been taught by someone, a teacher, in culinary school to get that job. A person in the airlines profession had to have been taught by someone, a teacher, in order to get that job. I could go on, but hopefully you get the drift. So the point I'm trying to get across is teachers do not get paid nearly as much as they should for all of the work that they do. This needs to change in some way or another. Teachers are constantly taking their work home, unlike most other professions. They do more throughout the day than just teach. And lastly, there won't be any teachers left if the pay doesn't increase. In most other professions, employees do not have to take their work home. Teachers almost always take their work home, whether it's spending hours coming up with lesson plans that will engage students, grading assignments, tests, quizzes, or communicating with parents or guardians. I read up on statistics about this, and according to Sharon McLeod, a high school English teacher in Providence, Rhode Island, most teachers spend approximately 2,200 hours per year, which adds up to more than most full-time employees. Teachers are working full-time jobs while getting part-time pay. Another statistic I found was, according to economist Sylvia L. Gretto, research associate Sean P. Corcoran, and educator Lawrence Michelle, all of Economic Policy Institute, states that a comparison of teachers' wages to those of workers with comparable skill requirements, including accountants, reporters, registered nurses, computer programmers, clergy, personnel officers, and vocational counselors and inspectors, show that teachers earned $116 less per week in 2002, a wage disadvantage of 12.2%. Because teachers worked more hours per week, the hourly wage disadvantage was an even larger 14.1%. This is yet another fact alone that proves that teachers are very much underpaid. Again, teachers are spending far too much time and far too much energy that are actually being compensated for. And just because they have summers off doesn't change a lot. Summers involve prepping and shopping for the school year and professional development and trainings, which are also a requirement for teachers. Since so many, if not all, teachers end up taking their work home at night after already staying late after the bell rings, teachers should be compensated for this in some way or another. Whether it is by an increase in salary or something along those lines. They do too much beyond school hours and prep times to not be paid more. And after all, actually I should say we, because I'm a future teacher, should be compensated fairly for how much work it takes to teach younger children, especially how to be a mature adult in society one day. Teachers do much more than just teach. Being a teacher does not only involve teaching students to read, write, and do math problems. It involves teaching students to be good adults in society. It also involves teaching students what is right or wrong, like not to cheat on tests, assignments, or quizzes, and that cheating devalues the learning process. Lastly, we won't have any teachers eventually if the pay doesn't increase. This is such a rewarding job, which is what attracts people to do this profession. However, people know that teachers are underpaid and no one wants a job that underpays and undervalues them, right? Well, this is the exact reason that people are leaving and pursuing other careers. If this keeps up, hence the push for a pay increase, eventually we will not have enough teachers to educate our students who grow up needing to be educated by teachers so that they can pursue jobs in their desired field. Are you catching on with the trend? Teachers are needed. Not only is it the pay that deters people from teaching, it is also the mental toll that takes on you with your students' home life, poverty, trauma, abuse, you name it. According to former teacher Jessica Gentry, I think it's easier for people to believe that I left teaching because of the lousy pay. This is yet another aspect of teaching that most people don't realize, and it is these people that are ones who don't believe that it is necessary to increase teacher pay. So this is my chart that I found. 48% of teachers leave because of dissatisfaction, which is likely due to pay. In the end, it is each of the following aspects that are the more reason to pay teachers more than they are being paid. Constantly taking their work home, unlike most other professions, doing more throughout the day than just teaching, and the lack of teachers that will happen if action isn't taken right away. Some sort of education taught by teachers is a foundation for everything in the job industry. So why is it that teachers aren't getting paid well? For all the work they go through, it is the least that can happen. Make sure they are paid fairly. I hope that if you ever get the opportunity to advocate for teacher pay, you do it.